For reviews, interviews and your daily film picks, click the bell icon and subscribe to Film Companion South now.
Hello and welcome to Film Companion South. Today we will be watching Seththumaan by debutant director Thamizh. And what an amazing coincidence for new Tamil cinema. 3 films in a row, all dealing with complex social issues in the hinterlands of Tamil Nadu's villages. To start with, we had Arun Matheeswaran's Sani Kaidam, followed by Arun Raja Kamaraj's Nenjukku Neethi. And now we have director Thamizh's Seththumaan. All these 3 films do not deal with stereotypes of caste hierarchies where we see good and bad guys or locate issues of the rich and poor in moralistic terms. They help us, especially the disconnected urban middle class, to get a glimpse into the underbelly of our Tamil Nadu's village landscape. Seththumaan, the film, starts off with an inherent advantage by basing the story on a book called Varagari, written by the amazing Perumal Murugan. Quite often you see the film trying to be a bit too authentic with the book's narration, especially in the beginning when it introduces the characters of Poochi, the grandfather played by Manickam, taking his grandson Kumaresan, played beautifully by Ashwin, walking through the arid landscapes to his primary school. This sequence virtually sets off the slow, leisurely pace, beseeching the viewer not to be rushed into the usual conflict zones as mostly seen in the first act. The hyper-emotional clashes that take place in the first act are extremely localized, demanding the viewers again to imagine. For example, how could a simple act of chopping off a few branches from a neem tree in the fields could cause so much anguish between 2 cousins? This complaint is then taken to the village panchayat level, where some elders are asked to pronounce a judgment, and they charge a fine of rupees 2000 which should be given to the local temple. What we are asked to witness is the multi-layered ways that caste differences are treated in the rural hinterlands of Tamil Nadu. The ways that people are slotted into upper and lower stratas of their caste system are complex and very sharply differ from one area to another. Because of situating inequality from such a perspective, the viewer is asked to desist from deciding what is right, what is wrong, who is right and who is wrong, but instead watch and observe them with complete mindfulness. To make such a perception possible, Seththumaan does not have a single actor who is even slightly known to our audiences. Nobody carries any baggage on screen from their previous films. And to add more authenticity, I could clearly make out the usage of live location sound by Pandian recordist and the very subdued music track by Bindu Malini, creating a sound design which lets us immerse into the landscape of the year 2017. The year 2017 is given a separate layer to this narration by focusing on the election of India's second president, coming from the Dalit caste, namely Sri Ramnath Kovind. The first president was from the Dalit community, was K.R. Narayanan. By projecting such a layer, we get to understand that the subject of Dalit oppression needs a different lens today. Seththumaan literally means the deer in the sludge. And in the backdrop, it refers to a young pig which promises to be very tasty when cooked. Generally speaking, across most of Tamil Nadu and rural India, wherever we witness a colony of pigs, we deduce that a Dalit hamlet is in the neighborhood. And that is why pork meat is not really served in our non-vegetarian restaurants. Such an imagination of pork, and a delicious one at that, is indeed an ironic metaphor of the ways in which writer Perumal Murugan and director Thamizh would like us to comprehend the film. For example, one has heard that Dalits are served tea in separate clay pots or paper cups at roadside hotels. But in this film, we see Poochi's friend demanding to be served in a regular glass tumbler. And the shopkeeper obliges. In another scene, Poochie is seen selling his bamboo baskets to a slightly upper caste lady who wants to bargain by slashing the prices in rude manners. But Poochie is unruffled. He argues back, saying that it is the price or she can keep it free. On that tone, she decides to pay the original price demanded. The film finally gravitates to a long climax where all these menfolk from a variety of caste hierarchies choose to get Poochie and his friend, bring them a succulent pig and have it cooked so that they can all have a delicious party to the accompaniment of local booze. Cinematographer Pradeep Kaliraja is at his best here, choreographing the entire sequence, a long sequence by the way, from acquiring the pig till the ugly fight out at the end between the cousins with mindful detachment, without getting into the melodrama of their family stories or the social narrative that have stereotyped Dalit repression and violence across the media. What stands out in this amazing debut work by Thamizh and Kaliraja's second venture is their original style. They seem to have the poise and grace which they have observed, of course, studying great global filmmakers who are grabbing eyeballs across the new wave film circuits. This film was screened at IFFK 2021, the Indian Festival at Los Angeles, and though it has been receiving a lot of acclaim so far, distributors seem to be wary of testing it out in the regular film theatrical circuit. I would strongly recommend watching Seththumaan, currently streaming on Sony Live, for it taught me the importance of how not to get into hateful expressions, but choose to restrain oneself amidst the mindless violence we witness today. Such restraint should not be confused with stepping back in cowardly manners, but as a statement of preparedness to launch oneself into corrective action. Watch the film and enjoy it. Thank you very much.